It looked like Tony Ricciardello was there. If he holds on to that position, he may well have the lead here. The West Aussie racing with so much speed. It is
the curve of no, he's hit the wall.
See that he blasts straight round the outside of the Audis.
This is exactly what we saw Caruso do yesterday, but it's got away from Ricciardello.
G'day everybody, Ran here, Sports Sedan TV, Sports Sedan podcast. Well, we had a big weekend of racing. So firstly, we went to Sandown Raceway for the Victorian Sports Sedans. And we started off with a 22-car grid, and by the end of it, we're down to like 10 or 11, unfortunately. Big Dean Cam was the man and was able to get 3 from 3. I think it was Jim Pollicina was second in all the races, and Francois Habib got a couple of thirds, but then Brett Dickey got third in the final race. Those two were going at it pretty hard, made for some exciting racing. Through the pack, there was a bunch of Commodores and other stuff banging around, and it wasn't too bad. So hopefully, round 2 at Winton, we'll see a good grid. There are a few cars getting built. So keen to see what comes out in Victoria. Maybe I'll even get out there eventually. We also had combined sedans. Obviously, that is not completely sports sedans, so I don't always fully talk about that. But we had some sports sedans out the front, sort of top 7 or 8 cars in each race were sports sedans. So super good to see. Unfortunately, Angus Fogg had a big crash in the final race. He's okay, and they're fixing the car. Definitely was a pretty scary crash, so glad he's okay, and glad the car's okay as well, as in can be fixed. So he seems pretty adamant that he could possibly get it ready to do Touring Car Masters this weekend with supercars, and hopefully he will then turn it back into a sports sedan and run it at Tassie. Probably a notable mention is Mark Duggan in the Aston. He had a tyre go down in race 1 and was able to come back through the field in race 2. And in the final race, I believe he got second, didn't he? So great result for him and his new team. They've had a bit of a shuffle up in their team for this year. So it'd be great to see how he goes in the Nationals in Tassie. Which brings us to Tasmania. I'm still waiting on an entry list. I have been emailing the Nationals for this entry list and cannot get one yet. I'm assuming it's because they're still working it out. I may add it to this podcast, which I'm going to record over the course of today. So, because more information's coming in. So I just wanted to keep it fresh in my mind with those races on the weekend, and try and bring you as much information as I can. So far they have 22 to 24 cars. I'm not sure of what mix of mainland cars and Tasmanian cars that is. Obviously, we're all hoping that Brad Sheriff runs in the new Skyline. I really hope that the main guys are going over. I'm hearing different views or different opinions or different information whether the top mainland cars are heading over. I think it'll be extremely disappointing for the category if they don't. But, you know, I understand that finances, I'd say finances, let's be honest. That's the main thing that's going to get in the way. These are guys that have been racing for a long time, so they know how to have their car ready for round 1. So I don't believe anything like that. In saying that, getting parts these days is getting more difficult for a lot of the NASCAR motors. So that could also be a factor. So I'll try and bring you some more national news. If I edit it in and it's a bit clunky, that's why. It's because I've added it later. So as I said, I'm going to record this podcast in a few different sections over the course of the day, trying to find some more information. So Nationals round 1, from what I can tell, unfortunately looks like Tony Ricciardello, John Goulet with Jordan Caruso in the Audi, and Steve Tomasi in the Calibra are not going across, from what I can tell. Yeah, I don't have any more information, unfortunately. Obviously, this is not great, having the top 3 cars of recent seasons not able to head across. So, yeah, sorry, Tassie. Trust me, it's not a mainland thing. We don't have a conspiracy out to get you. I wanted to see those cars over there battling against the best that Tassie's got, and you've got some good cars. So, yeah, pretty disappointing, but obviously shit happens, and maybe that opens the door for someone new. So I do know that Angus Fogg has repaired his car, and he's running hopefully this weekend again with Touring Car Masters, and hopefully will be, and he said he will be coming over. So he has the car sorted. So that's awesome news. Alex Williams in the red RX-7 rotary is running along with Pete Ingram in another rotary RX-7. So that's going to be awesome for the rotary fans. And just when you think two's enough, Matthew Ingram's coming over with the RX-8, the ex-IMSA car, with another rotary in it. So that's going to be cool. Steve Gangal, I don't know him, but he's got a space frame Commodore. I have seen that car before in Queensland, so that'll be good. Round 1 Tassie winner Ben Patel in the 2J powered 180SX is running. He's bloody quick, so could be really interesting to see how he goes against the space frame guys. Kim Burrick in a Commodore is also running, and it's a floor pan one. Mark Duggan in the Aston is heading over, so coming off his good result in combined sedans, it'll be great to see how he goes. Scotty Cameron in his space frame Commodore is heading over as well, so part of the Duggan family hotel racing team crew. So that's all I've got at the moment. There's meant to be 22 cars, I said, and I will try and update that in another podcast. So some good news and bad news. Hopefully it's a great field. I'm sure it will be. Sports sedans are sports sedans. On one hand, it's crap that the top three won't be running. On the other hand, whoa, who's gonna be dominant? It's gonna be really exciting. So I think that there's a fair. I think that the Smith Monaro is going over, but I don't have confirmation yet. So anyway, that's what's happening so far. Another thing for Nationals is that they're going over to the Hankook tyres, and in their latest email out to competitors, there are 3 sizes available at the moment. So you need to get in contact with the Nationals if you want to order them. They're in 280 650 18s, 300 660 18s, and 320 710 18s. So that's all they've got at the moment. I believe they're going to be looking at some other sizes, but they're pretty much the main sizes that sports sedans run. No one really... Not many national cars run smaller tyre sizes than that. Most of us are running 650, but now 660 and 320 710s. So, get onto that. Some super exciting news, I think, for Queensland is that it looks like that Phil Crompton will be doing the state series mainly in his Mustang, well, his son will, and Tim Tritton as well in the Honda. So I think maybe Coxie might be as well, Anthony Cox in the Saab. So they're going to do more state racing this year, from my understanding, along with all the other Queensland guys that do run. It could be bloody exciting. That's going to be some pretty serious cars. Like they're going to have a lot of space frame, I'm going to say high level, like top level, or if not second tier top level cars running in their state series, which we don't have in Victoria. We sort of, besides Dean running and Graham Gillian, there's not a lot of space frame shit happening down here, unfortunately. A lot of Commodores, don't know, people love those taxis down here in Melbourne. Hopefully that changes over time, we get more space frame cars. But anyway, Queensland looks like it's going to kick off, so I'm super excited. Hopefully there's someone covering it, because I want to watch that shit. Be cool to see. Something that I want to quickly touch on was that I got a message from Nick Smith asking me to remove some information that I put up. I hadn't put up that information. So if you're going to listen to my podcast or watch it on YouTube and then relay that information to someone else, make sure you're at least accurate. Nick and I are really good buddies, and he's building his new car and has some information he wants to keep to himself for now. Just because he's doing his thing, and I didn't release that information that he doesn't want released, and some clever humans who maybe need to clean their ears out heard it differently. So don't be dickheads, all right? Come on. Like, talk. It's a bit silly, okay? So give that a rest. I can't be fucked with it. So super excited for when Nick gets his new car built, and I'm keen to see how his current car goes. So stop doing the Chinese whispers shit, you friggin' idiots. So another thing I wanted to touch on after watching the Victorian State round, and it just sort of brought something to my memory, and that is, I suppose, driving standards and what we're really here for. So I think, in my opinion, obviously it's just my opinion, state level racing, I don't know. We're there for fun. We're there to enjoy ourselves. We want to be race drivers. Some of us want to be engineers. Some of us want to be race car builders, and we get to do those things. I suppose, I hate to say it, on an amateur level. Some more professionally than others, obviously, and go out there and drive our race cars and have fun. Now these cars are, what have we got? We're minimum 600 horsepower, up to 800 horsepower, 1,200 kilos. We're going, 280, 300 kilometers an hour, let's say 270, whatever. We're going bloody quick. There's still some weight there. We can cause damage to things. We can cause damage to ourselves. A lot of us are sitting right next to an engine with fuel lines and exhaust, and, we're stuck in there. We're pretty tightly packed in there, and we're going door to door with other people who are amateurs as well. And I suppose, I don't want to name anyone because it's not really my place, and this is not a witch hunt. This is more just a reminder that this is meant to be fun. This is, you're not a professional race driver. I don't know if you realize that. And sports sedans, it's a owner-driver kind of category. We're obsessed with these cars. We like tinkering with them. We can build them our way for the most part. We can push put our ideas into the cars and go race them and enjoy it. Most of us are not that young. Most of us are getting older now. Things slow down. We're not as good as we think we are. Some people think they're pretty bloody good, and they're not too bad, but they're not bloody great either. Like, I think that I suppose I just want to say we need to race, especially at a state level. Like nationals, I get it's fairly serious. In saying that, some of this does apply, and that is that you're out there to have fun. You don't want to kill people. You don't want to kill yourself. Most of you don't want to be dickheads. So approach it that way. Like, yeah, if someone's blocking a bit, well, they're a bit of a silly sausage, aren't they? They're a bit of a deal. Like, I don't know why you're blocking so much. It's if someone's a bit quicker, let them go. Try and, like, I don't know. I used to do that in go-karting in my very early days, and someone came over and said, Ran, like, you can block. You can do what you're doing. You're not being illegal how you're doing it. You're just doing one move. You're driving down the middle of the track. But they said to me, if you let them go, latch onto them. See where they're quicker. See what they're doing. Maybe they're running different lines to you. Maybe they're doing something. They're braking at a different spot. And you might find you learn from that, and then you can actually pass them, and you're quicker. And that did happen for me at times. So I sort of have that mantra that if someone's clearly faster, and clearly we're not racing for anything except for our own personal glory. We're not winning anything. This is not our livelihood. This is not, no one's gonna kidnap your kids if you don't win a race. This is purely fun, yeah? So why are you blocking so much? It just seems a bit ridiculous to me. I know people will say, well, that's racing, you just got to fucking deal with it, blah, blah. Yeah, cool, whatever. But, we all know that people that do that, I think most people in the pits who know someone that's just constantly blocking and everything like that, we just think they're a bit of a deal. We like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, what's the point? And also, I suppose, if you're not leaving some space on the track for someone to get, if someone's about to get up there and you just keep blocking that off and cutting them off and putting them on the grass, I don't know, what's the effing point of that? You just seem like a fucking idiot. So, again, just my opinion, probably love you still, probably think you're a great person in life, but it just makes no sense to me. Let's race each other cleanly. Like, I get it. Some people are hard chargers, hard racers, but you just seem like a bit of an asshole. Like, it makes no sense. Like, what are you winning? Like, I don't know. Maybe, Dean, from my understanding, I've never got to race him. I've never been that fast, but Dean races people pretty clean. He plays some games. I think, we use those. We've got tools in our toolbox and in our arsenal to race people, and there's techniques, and things you do. That's okay, but you all know the line. Like, what running people into the wall. I've seen last year I saw a car run someone to the wall. They didn't put them in the wall, but they were trying to intimidate them in a straight line on a straight, and they drove them over into the wall because they were sooking that their car was getting passed by a car that they thought they shouldn't. I just don't see the point of that. It just seems dumb. And then coming in and getting all angry about it, you see people arguing in the pits. Don't get me wrong, I've been a dickhead too. I've got angry over things. I've been shitty. I've been grumpy because I can't get past someone that I'm clearly faster than, but I didn't want to, duck in there and get hit or anything like that. So I sat back there and sooked like a little baby that I couldn't get past them. Like on the other hand, they shouldn't have probably done that, but it's in their right as a driver to be able to be defensive. I'm rambling on, but just go out there and have fun. Remember that we're all just humans trying to enjoy our sport that we love. So enjoy it. Don't drive like a dickhead. Don't be a wanker. Sports Sedans is a small community. There's enough wankers in the world. Let's try not to be. Let's try and be, I don't know, we don't have to be freaking kumbaya and freaking old nans either, but race for enjoyment, not for your ego and your bullshit, alright?